Today, you're going to learn about 7 important stages of writing an academic research report. So what exactly is an academic research report? It is a structured document that presents the findings of a systematic investigation. It's a detailed account of your research process, from the initial question to the final conclusion. Think of it as a story of your research journey. It is different from an essay, as a report is usually written for a particular audience and contains the recommendations for future actions. How to make a report effective? An effective report presents and analyzes facts and evidence that are relevant to the specific problem or issue of the report brief. The 3 main qualities of a report are accuracy, clarity, and readability. So when writing, you should remember that the language, structure, and presentation of a report should help the reader understand the main points quickly and easily. When it comes to the language, the report should be grammatically sound, with correct spelling and generally free of errors. You shouldn't be using jargon, slang, or colloquial expressions. The style of writing should be formal and precise, so that the meaning of sentences is clear and with no unnecessary information. You should define acronyms and any abbreviations not used as standard measurement units. You should also avoid using contractions and personal pronouns. Think about the language you are using and consider what will be easily understood and what needs more explanation, for example, some technical terms. Use a professional tone of voice, but avoid overly complicated language. Writing a report, key stages. Stage 1. Understand the report brief. If you haven't written a research report before, getting started can be challenging. So first, you need to make sure that you know exactly what your report is supposed to do. Check your assignment brief or instructions. Check, what does the brief say about the investigation? What is the scope of the investigation? What are the limitations? Also, think about who you're writing it for. Remember that you are writing for a specific audience, for example your tutor, your manager, or your client. Stage 2. Collect and select background information. Once you know what your report is about, you need to start finding useful information. Very often, if writing a report is your university or college assignment, you'll be required to show your knowledge of the problem or situation. You can get information from lots of sources, but how much you need depends on how detailed your report needs to be. It's a good idea to start by reading books and articles to get a better understanding of the topic. As you find information, think about if it's actually useful for your investigation or experiment, and only keep the relevant material. Keep checking your assignment brief to help you decide what's important. Stage 3. Organize your material. After you found your information, you need to decide what to put in your report and how to organize it. Start by putting similar ideas together. These can become your report sections. Keep checking your assignment brief and be ready to remove any information that doesn't directly relate to the report's purpose. Choose an order for your information that makes sense and is easy for the reader to follow. Explain how what you found relates to the problem or issue in your assignment brief. Stage 4. Analyze your material. Before writing your first draft, spend some time planning and making notes about what you want to say, using the facts and evidence that you found. If your report is asking you to include the results of your own experiment, your own research, think how your results correlate with similar existing research. Are your results as you expected them to be? Are there any discrepancies between the results of your own research and what you found in the literature? Think about what conclusions you can draw from this. Stage 5. Write your report. Once you've organized your material into sections with headings, you can start writing your first draft. Write in a clear and straightforward style, avoiding unnecessary detail. Make your points direct and to the point. You should present the information as concisely as possible. You can use tables or figures and bullet points to help you with this. Each part of your report, chapters, sections, even paragraphs, should have a clear structure. Here is an example of a structure that you can adapt. 1. Executive Summary Abstract. It is a summary of the entire report. It should enable the reader to make an informed decision about whether they want to read the report. It is usually limited to about 200 words. It normally includes intention or aim of the report, coverage or outline, main findings, and strategic recommendations. It is often easier to write the executive summary and contents page last when you know exactly what's in your report. 2. Background, context. This section tells the reader what the report is all about. Here is how you can structure this in your report. It may include why was the report written, who requested it and when, aims, what were you trying to do, scope and limitations, methods that you used, and sources of information. 3. Results and analysis. Here, you should present the findings of your research and your critical analysis. Like we mentioned before, compare your results with similar studies. Interpret your findings. Analyze why you think you achieved these results. Focus on the most important aspects of your findings. You may also discuss your limitations here that possibly influenced your results. 4. Recommendations. In this section, you should do the following. First, sum up the main points of your work in a clear and objective manner and link the aims in the report brief with your findings. Next, provide clear and reasoned advice. Then, list the recommendations that arise from your report. These should follow logically from the information presented throughout the report. Finally, outline the action that is required to implement the recommendations. Above all, remember to be realistic, concise, and to the point. Stage 6. Review and redraft. If possible, take a break before looking at your first draft again. Try to read your draft as if you were someone else reading it for the first time. Think, is it easy to understand? Does it have a clear structure that makes sense? Are your points explained clearly and supported by good evidence? Writing on a computer makes it much easier to rewrite and move sections or paragraphs around. However, if you write by hand, try writing each section on a separate page to make revising easier. Stage 7. Presentation. When you're happy with what your report says and how it's organized, you can focus on how it looks. Make sure all headings and subheadings are clear and accurate. Double check that you followed all the formatting rules in your assignment brief. Check that your chapters, sections, and appendices are numbered consistently. Make absolutely sure that you've acknowledged and correctly referenced all your sources. You also need to proofread your report carefully for spelling and grammar mistakes. If you have time, proofread your report more than once. Mistakes in presentation or writing make a bad impression and can make your report hard to read. To learn more about how to edit and proofread your work before submission, Watch this video next.